right, welcome to the second edition of Table Tennis Talk. Today the topic is short pips, forehand or backhand. I've used short pips on both forehand and backhand. Currently I've been using pips rubber primarily on my forehand, and there's a few things I've discovered about it. One is that using pips on your forehand is not a huge transition from using smooth rubber. Most people can go to short pips on their forehand and make it work. Another observation is it's not for everybody. If you're using big looping strokes on your forehand, short pips really aren't that effective for that. They're more for straight hitting, flat shots. The nature of the pips is that they take some of the spin off of the rubber. There's less surface area for the ball to touch. So they're really good for hitting, they're really good for blocking. And if that's your game, if you got a short stroke and quick shots, short pips are ideal. Now, on the backhand, a little tougher. I've found it a lot tougher to make them effective on the backhand, but some people have. One of the things that I've discovered is that the people that seem to use short pips the most effectively on their backhand tend to be shorter. I'm 6 feet tall, and making that shot really work on my backhand seems a little bit tougher. There are other factors, of course, but it seems that the people that are really making it work are short and are able to get to the ball at the top of the bounce and make it tough on their opponents by hitting a lot of flat backhand, fast shots with the short pips on their backhand. Now, there are a few players that have used it on both sides. Again, I have no trouble using short pips. Probably really any kind of pips on my forehand seems to work. But if you're really used to manipulating the ball with smooth rubber on your backhand and not getting every ball at the top of the bounce, then short pips are not a plus for you. Like I said, they're not for everybody. And like I said, if you're letting the ball drop, if you're chopping, all the shots that are very easy or have become easy for you with smooth rubber, the short pips may work against you on that. So short pips can work on the backhand, they can work on the forehand, and it just sort of depends on the style of your game. Now, if you're a chopper, some players have tried to use short pips as a way to chop on their backhand primarily. It's possible to do, but chopping is tougher in general. If you're an accomplished chopper and you can do it with long pips, you may want to experiment with short pips, but if you're thinking that you can become a chopper and you can use short pips to do it, it's possible, but it's a long road to do that. And so that's it. Short pips can be really effective in the modern game. There's some top players that have used it on their forehand. There's some top players that have used it on their backhand. I personally find it's a lot easier to do with my forehand, but and as far as what types of short pips, there's a lot of them out there. There's not a huge difference. Let me put it this way. You can play with probably any of the short pips that are out there. Some will match your style a little bit better than others. I'm using Stiga Symmetry. It actually took me a little bit of time to get used to them, but they're great for hitting, but there's plenty of others that work really well too. All right, that's it for today. That's our table tennis talk. See you next time.